Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of 3D Dollars, Dreams, and Discussions with your hosts, Uncle Will and Shannon B. Hey, what's up, everyone? I am Uncle Will, and I want to welcome you guys to the show. And to my left, we have.
Shannon B.
That's right. Should I say Mrs. Shannon B?
Right.
Yeah, since the last time we recorded an episode, Shannon went and got married on us. Ain't that something?
I did.
You don't mind showing them. She's a married woman now. Congratulations to the both of you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, how ironic. She went and got married on us, but she also thought of this topic that we're about to go into. Now, just so you all know, the title of the show, 3D, which is
Dollars, Dreams, and Discussions.
Well, this part of the show is going to be dealing with discussions. We're going to discuss a certain topic that Shannon brought to my attention. I never even knew that series, which is on TikTok, even existed until she told me about this a couple of weeks ago. So, Shannon, go into detail about what this topic is that we're going to talk about.
So we're going to be discussing the popular Who Did I Marry series with Miss Risa Tisa that was going crazy on TikTok and other places in the internet. And since then, she's branched out to Good Morning America, the Tamara Hall show. So wow. I think things have died down a bit, but right. I mean, there's still people making parodies and, whatever else about the situation as more information continues to surface.
So, abbreviated, what? No, WTF.
Who? Yeah.
Okay. WTF. Who did I marry?
Yeah.
Now, what made you decide that you want us to touch this particular topic right here?
I mean, well, it's a hot topic. I mean, there's pretty much, well, you hadn't heard about it. Well, do you use TikTok normally?
I mean, I am on TikTok. I just started my own thing about a month and a half, 2 months ago. So I'm not on it as heavy as I would like to be. So when you told me about it and that it was on TikTok, when I pulled it up, I'm like, wow, this girl, she done put out several different episodes and she has a lot of views and a lot of followers. So it's like you said, it's definitely a popular topic. But watching it, it made me. I'm just as I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing how she do the settings and everything. She could be in a car. She could just be in a bathroom talking, and the dialogue as she's going into it is so interesting because it captures your attention when you think like, what?
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't watch the whole 50 parts or however many. I watched them all.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't watched the whole 50.
Yeah.
I saw enough. I saw it because she got a lot. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it was just something that I could just have on in the background while I'm, doing whatever. So, have an earbud in or something is not really stopping me from doing anything. So I just let it play. Like, as I'm driving, as I'm doing whatever, just like, I mean, I typically listen to true crime all day. So it's just kind of like, it was a break from that, and I'm always listening to something anyway. So,
right.
I gave her my quick 500 minutes. I don't regret it. I hope that one of my views, helped her make a coin.
Right.
But yeah, it definitely was something that not only did she change, did she tell her story, but she totally blew up the algorithm for TikTok. So I make TikTok videos here and there, but I'm not like a high TikToker. Like, I probably am on Facebook more than anything. But I'll go on TikTok just to look, and I know it can become like 8 hours later, you scrolling. So I try not to, I'll scroll a little bit, watch a few things, and get off of there.
Right.
Except for when I'm making something. But when I came across it, I can't even remember how I ended up seeing it. But anyway, once I got in, I was hooked. Like, okay, I'm here to the end. So, yeah, she blew up the algorithm because several reasons. Like, nowadays, people don't watch long-form content. Or it's become more different for long-form content creators. So, she got people like me to watch this 500-minute. It was 10 minutes each video. So, that was something that hasn't been done in a while because everybody wants to see 2-3 second videos. Also, if we keep it real, I believe there's certain people that are pushed,
Mm-hmm.
that have certain looks, or whatnot, that might be higher, algorithm pleasers.
Yeah.
So here she is, this very average, woman,
Mm-hmm.
just everyday woman that's
Yeah.
going to work and, doing the things that we all do. And, she's a plus size woman, black woman, whatever. And, she commanded the attention of the world pretty
I
much.
mean, she truly did because just like you were saying, from my knowledge of in regards to TikTok, like you said, you have a lot of individuals that do different type of revealing or comedy sketches, and it I never knew that it was possible that she can do it the way she did in telling a story. It's like a story format going into the this is how we met, this is how I fell in love with the dude. This
Mm-hmm.
is the things he was telling me. This is how it. I mean, like she said, to the very end, she broke it down. And usually TikTok itself, like you said, is quick. It's quick.
Yeah.
But to sit back and watch these videos, it has to catch your attention, right? Because we already know people attention span
Hence
isn't
why
that
y'all didn't watch the whole 50
you know what I'm saying?
videos.
I mean, but I think part of the reason why I didn't go there and watching the whole 50 because, which I'm pretty sure it's other people out there like me too, who has went through similar things. You know why or what's gonna or you think you know
Mm-hmm.
what's gonna happen or whatever. But
You just know it's not going to end well,
you just know
whatever it
oh
is.
you know it's not gonna end well. So what was your expectations when you viewed the entire series? What was your expectations of it?
I didn't have any because it was too many twists and turns. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, you might have thought you had a general idea, but I mean, some of the things that you might have thought were going to happen did not. Like, for example, he didn't financially abuse her. Because in my mind, I would think normally in those type of scenarios, not only does the woman end up emotionally messed up, but
Oh,
her
financial,
finances,
yeah.
maybe physical,
Mm-hmm.
so it was like, okay, it's gonna escalate to where he started whooping on her. Is she gonna say he ruined my credit and now I'm, in distress? Like, how bad is
Yeah.
it? So there were some things that didn't happen and were still unexpected. Like, as she started unraveling more and like she started talking to the family members and finding things out, and she got to the point that she was kind of cynical about the whole situation,
Mm-hmm.
so I couldn't like plan that out. But it was also her skill, being an amazing storyteller
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
able to remember things and have it organized in a chronological. I mean, she did this over a weekend, like, and was just putting them out like nobody's business. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, as she driving to wherever this destination she be going every day, which is so far. But yeah, like the consistency and everything she had, the dedication, just humping them out like that, like it was amazing.
I mean, but not only the dedication though, you're revealing yourself, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're letting people know your story without worrying about any shame. And like you said, in regards to, she's an average looking woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's not on there trying to do makeup challenges, whatever. She's just an average looking woman who to me is beautiful, but she's an average looking woman, and she's taking the time to let you know that this is what I did. Whether you want to judge me or not, whether you want to call me a fool, whether you want to look down on me, this is what I experienced. And what I got out of that is that because I consider myself to be an open book on things too. You know, I once did a podcast talking about my experience with being um, victimized as a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and to be able to open up and share these things out there and put it out there to the world, you got to be a strong person to do that. And so, what I was wondering, who was really at fault though with the relationship? I mean, who would you say? Would you say that she was at fault, or would you say that he was at fault? And I say this because a lot of times, people could be like, "Well, you the fool. You had to have known that he was." Well, I mean, what did you get out of it? Because, like you said, you didn't know was it going to be a financial situation, credit going to be jacked up, was it going? Because I was waiting for that too. Like, okay, dang, is this dude? I bet you he'd put his hands on. I bet he'd done this. He did. You know what I'm saying? So, do you think that she could have saw that coming?
I would say that they were both at fault, and I mean, in her video, she takes accountability.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't try to say, "Oh no, just poor little me, I was a victim." To no, they were both at fault because she got to a point in a relationship where she knew full well it was a wrap. Like, she knew he was lying. She just hadn't called him out on it yet. So at that point, you know what you're doing, you continuing on. But like, I could totally, everything she said, I just resonated with that so much. Like, she grew up in the church. Often in those environments, you told, wait on God. God is gonna send you somebody. If you in a smaller congregation like where I grew up, they kept saying, they're coming, they're coming.
Just be patient.
Yeah, like, and then here I am, a young woman sitting up watching all my friends never get married, never have children. And if I had not said, like, this can't be me, like, Lord, I know I'm not no unit. So something gotta shake. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there is an action, part on your end that needs to take place as well.
Right.
Like, if you just going to work, going home, going to church, and there's no eligible males in your church, where is the man gonna come from? Like, I kid you not, it still cracks me up. A friend of mine, he used to laugh at me and the other girls at our church because he used to say, he said, "Oh yeah, I know who y'all gonna marry. Y'all gonna marry some angels. Y'all gonna marry Gabriel, Hezekiah." He just make up all these biblical names. Jeremiah. Yup, they gonna just come down and get y'all, like, and he would laugh. You know what I'm saying? But it was, and we would be like, "Oh, don't say that. That's not true," because we believed, what we had been told. And so the more time that you sit there, like she said, I thought it was my turn. You know what I'm saying? I was ready to get married. She's trying to do the right thing. And things just did not pan out that way. Nobody's coming.
Right.
So here it is, and then also, once you allow yourself to get in a situation, and I mean, that's me all day. If I get myself in a situation, I'm not calling for help. I'm just not. That's just not
You made that clear on other shows.
Yeah,
yes.
like, if I know I messed up, I'm like, you going down by yourself for this. Don't call nobody in. You know you did it. You got to go down, period. Yeah. So I get her. Like, I got myself in this mess. It's nobody's responsibility but not mine. The embarrassment, the shame, that you're going to feel, your family telling you, "I told you so."
Yeah.
I mean, all of that. Like, at the end of the day, that's stuff that you got to deal with. And she just wasn't ready to deal with that. I get it. Like, it sucks for somebody to be telling you, "I told you so." And, just that failure, of the whole situation. So I was not, like, flabbergasted by the fact that she stayed. Like, I mean, the same way, because it's still a form of abuse. It may be not physical, but the same way they say, people stay in those situations for, they know it makes absolutely no sense. It's not good for them. It's not good for their children.
But I don't see what abuse come in. Me myself, I don't see what abuse
in this situation.
Yeah, I don't see where, because when you say that it's a form of abuse, in what sense do you mean that?
I think anytime that you're dishonest with a person, that's abuse.
So you think someone's that's dishonest
because you taking them for granted. You don't see them as valuable enough to be truthful. Like, basically, it's a smack in the face. And you kind of, like, you a dummy. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna say all this and expect you to believe it, and, like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, if you could go to that extent, you think that person is like a gum on your shoe.
I mean, but you also have to realize this too, Shannon, that you have on one hand him, narcissist. Two, with her, gullible. So a narcissistic person could recognize and see a mark.
Yeah.
And to me, that's how I seen her, at least in his eyes. I mean, I don't know the dude directly. But from the information that I've seen or whatever, he's definitely a narcissistic.
Yeah.
He has that personality. and I think he played up on like how you was breaking it down. Church girl. You know what I'm saying? She knows she wants to get married
Low self esteem.
and low self esteem. So he played up on that, and he found a gullible one, and he decided to go in, do what he had to do. Now, in the sense of saying that it was abuse, I guess mentally, I can see where you're
And
coming
emotional,
from.
cause think about it. Now she gonna be petrified
Oh my
to
God.
get like that. I mean, that would be on her. That would be her choice. But like, she could never mess with nobody again
I
over.
mean,
You know what
a
I'm
new
saying?
guy
Like
would
that's
have it
enough
hard.
to.
He would have it hard. You know how hard a dude would have to work just to show her that, hey, I'm not him.
Which is bold to him. You know, he don't deserve that either. A guy who is trying to come and do right.
Dang.
So it's kind of, a domino effect, that it creates. Then sometime by the time your family do find out, then like y'all might get into it because then they like, oh, why you didn't say nothing, and this, that, and the other. We could have, helped whatever. They
Mm-hmm.
feeling away. You didn't tell us. You was going through all this.
But why do you think women who are going through situations like that don't reach out for help when they obviously see it's a problem here?
Pride, simple.
Even with family, though.
Pride. It don't matter who it is.
So you rather to continue to just go through the mental and physical, I mean, not physical, but the mental um, abuse and the anguish, all because you worried about someone saying, I told you so, or someone, I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, in the moment, it's not that bad. Like when you live in it, cause you got to remember, you're not necessarily like hers was a build up. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? Like at first he was saying the stuff, and she was like, you don't just necessarily automatically be like, oh God, he lying. You know what I'm saying? He might get slip 5 things over your head that you just brush over here in the corner before you start like, okay, girl, this is getting ridiculous.
Right.
So them 5 things you could like he say something and you might even think in your mind like that's not, and then y'all go out and go to dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like there every moment is not you living
Okay.
him being and he wasn't being mean. Like
Right,
he wasn't
right,
being
right.
terrible.
He seemed like
He
he
was
was a
paying all the
cool
bills.
dude.
That's the other thing too, that financial I don't know what to call it, but basically that financial stability or support that she experienced,
Financial
that
manipulation, you
alone,
think?
not manipulation because he didn't take from her, but
No, no, but I'm saying he was using his money to, I mean, because he was still
yeah,
taking care of, you know what I'm saying? So that made her feel some sense of security as
security,
well,
yeah.
too. So,
Like
of
he
course,
is a provider.
exactly.
Cause it's
So,
like, okay, maybe he is lying about all this stuff, but he paying the bills. Like,
right.
however and whatever he doing to get the money, he paying the
Mm-hmm,
bills.
mm-hmm.
So, for a woman, like especially she been on her own all this time, just that level of like, I can do what I want with my check, like that's a good feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I understand.
So you understand that part.
Oh, I get it.
So then I guess then it's easy to say then is that when you encounter a dude like that, then it's easy for anyone
It
to really
can't.
get caught up.
And that's the thing that people think that they're exempt in this world. They say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'll never fall for that." Well, you fell for something.
Until it happens to you, you never know.
Cause half of the people saying what they wouldn't do, they got some sucky baby daddies. You fell for him,
Yeah.
or some guys got some terrible women they choose. You fell for her, so she ain't alone just because she was the Lulu, and let this situation
And
happen.
because she's the one who's actually telling what happened
Right?
to her.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just like I said earlier, that I didn't watch it all because I'm like, well, I can see where it's going because I went through this and I encountered, and I told you and Kev about it. You know what I'm saying? I encountered some crazy mess, but um, the thing is though is to for me, I was able to fall back on family
Yeah.
to because mentally, like I tell people, I used to say, man, if you're a person that's contemplating hurting yourself or suicide over some woman or some man, you stupid, you weak minded, and I went through some stuff so strong and heavy that it crossed my mind, but not that I wanted to, that I was gonna do it, right? But I'm like, I see why people
Mm-hmm.
commit suicide over
Yeah.
this stressful stuff. When a person is so stressed out and pushed to the brink that they're liable or capable of doing anything. But I was able to, I had resources with family, my kids. I'm like, I would never do that to my kids. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to take that route out like that. But mental health is a real thing. And I can see her truly being affected by this a great because she invested her dreams in this man.
And she lost a child. I mean, at the end of the
Oh
day,
my God, yeah.
that's life. You never gonna forget that as a
Hmm.
woman. You
If
never
that's
gonna
not
forget
life
that.
altering, I don't know
Yeah.
what is.
And the fact that he was not there for her in that time.
Mm-hmm.
Like she said, to this day, out of everything, like she was like, I could forget or forget whatever, all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you knew I was going through that and you let me be by myself when you could have been there,
Man.
that's the one right there. Because that means just at your core, there is nothing. Like, ain't no heart in there at all.
See,
Because you at your worst moment.
that's what I'm saying. That narcissistic stuff, man. They don't think about no one but themselves. What
And
can
I
get
can
the
say
benefit
too,
of
I mean, I think it's just a sick part of humanity is that sometimes we just want to see how things is going to unfold.
it? Mm-hmm.
I don't think people like to admit that, but I think in some ways they just be like, how toxic can this really get? You know what I'm saying? Like, in a way, they be like, especially in her case, because that's how I felt like she was at the end, was just like, I ain't gonna even call her. I know he on some foolishness. I ain't gonna even call. I'm just gonna see what he gonna do. And that's really, until it get dangerous, you
Yeah.
like, okay, enough,
Right, right.
But you, in a way, you just kind of like, how far are you gonna take this? Like, you gonna really jump over this cliff? Okay, let's see.
But then when they jump over the cliff, you like,
Right, right. You still wasn't prepared.
right, still wasn't prepared. You know, tell me this then. Why do you think women still fall for stuff like this though?
I mean, like I said, when I think about her and her mindset, and because I can relate to that so much, sometimes your wants and desires, they just supersede logic, which is how people get
Yeah.
in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
And like I said, you might. I mean, in this, let's not act like this dude did not come correct. Like on the first date, even though all the flags was there,
I mean, he
your
bought a
tire
new
blew
tire
out,
and
and he bought
everything.
you a tire on the
Yeah.
spot, and y'all still proceeded to go out to
Yeah,
dinner. Like,
yeah.
homeboy came with it. He
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
just, oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that, or
Yeah.
even
Let's schedule a date.
yeah, like for it to still, and
Yeah.
then y'all had this great conversation. Now, we all have our opinions on who we feel is attractive.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't see it, but she felt that he was attractive. She felt that he was a catch for her.
Right.
So when you smitten with somebody, like, I mean, even my husband, I'm Delulu, okay?
The Lulu.
So if whatever, yeah,
I'm
I
the same way
probably,
about my wife. I understand. After
I'm
27 years
just
together,
like,
yeah.
huh? What you say? Okay, like that's just
That's
love.
what's up.
Love is
That's what love do.
intoxicating.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So again, I get it. How did they fall for it? How did they fall for a guy that's already got 34 kids and they signed up to be 35? Baby mama 35. How is Christian Rock tattooing this man on her even though he would kick her down to the ground? How is anybody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but yet it happens.
Yeah.
They're still there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I do wish her luck and success in a relationship. Like I
Oh,
said,
she good.
I mean, is she dating anyone now that you know?
No,
of?
she not dating, but in terms of her career, and what's to come for her, she'll have that to focus on.
Yeah.
Like the relationship part will come or whatever at some point, but right now, she's got it's money to be made.
Yeah. So, cause I seen a review where somebody was talking about how she all right, she's making money out of this anyway, and some people talking about she was trying to just over sensationalize things or whatever. And
Well, somebody made a good point about that. I was listening to something the other day, and they was like, any good storyteller has to embellish to a certain extent.
mm-hmm,
Like if you just tell the story, like, oh yeah, this happened, like to some extent, you gonna add something in. You gotta ad lib something to make it interesting.
mm-hmm.
So even if she did, okay, but uh,
The meat and
the
potatoes
yeah of it is what it is. And not only that, I mean, countless people have come out to validate what she said.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So even if whatever with her experience, some things are a little bit different. Not only did he do that to her, he did it to several other women that have vouched for that. So
Hold up. And all that came out toward the end, though, right?
it came out after she posted everything. The first person that came out was the son of the wife that one of the wives she talks about in the story. He came out, and he said he came out because people kept saying she was lying. He said, I can't sit here and watch her be, made fun of and people saying that she lying because I know she not.
Mm-hmm.
So he felt he should speak up. Well, in turn, that soured the relationship with him and his mother because she was mad. Like, now you put me out there. Like, this is my life, not
Mm-hmm,
yours, even though you
mm-hmm,
was a part of it.
mm-hmm.
So now then the mother felt like she had to come out and say something, which she did. And then from there, like another girlfriend came out, so people started coming out because at that point, like they even found the realtors in the doggone story
Dang.
off of just first names. So, I mean, at that point, everybody's, and that was the other thing too. Like, I honestly believe that she was trying to keep things anonymous, but then, there is nothing like when you get on the internet, you can just forget it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
once I seen somebody be doxxed to the point that somebody went and put up their medical records and put it out there, I was like, there is no end.
Dang.
Like when somebody don't like you or somebody there is nothing you can do. Like
You
she
right
said,
about
the
that.
only thing, now they crucified the girl that put his information out there, but because Risa said you could at least came to me as a woman and said I'm gonna do this and gave me an opportunity to protect myself. Now that was Bo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
yeah,
what if he saw that and was like, oh, that's it, I'm going to kill her. Now her blood is on your hands because you shouldn't. That was not your business to do that. So it is what it is. Thank God she okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully again she heals from the situation, is able to move on with her life. But right now, girl, it's time to catch them flights. It's time to get that bag.
Hey, what you got to do? Hey, I'm with Shannon B up on that. Get that money. If you can get anything out of it, do that, as well as help others with some similar situations. Shannon, before we end this though, what advice would you give to those who you feel might need to actually watch this show? What advice would you give someone that's going through something similar or whatever?
Well, I mean, I think her message, at the end of the day, outside of all the entertainment, was that if you are in that type of situation, it's going to take courage, but you got to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you do have a support system that you can lean on, do that, but it's not worth the emotional trauma, the emotional toil that it could take on you, at that point and, for extended periods of time in your life, to deal with a situation that is not good for you. So, like I said, I think she let herself stand as a tell, to other women and people in general out there, that when you see something, you gotta investigate that. You gotta wise up, or just do your due diligence up front. To try to protect yourself to the best of your ability.
I agree. And I would also like to piggyback upon that as well. If you know deep down that you feel that a situation is not what it seems to be, what's that saying? Follow your first mind.
Yeah.
If you feel it in your gut, follow that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we get so eager to be in love and to be loved back that we jump without looking. And in most cases, when you jump without looking, you tend to get hurt.
Yeah.
Okay? So my advice would be to follow your first mind. Follow your heart. But the only time that your heart gonna really get in love is if you followed your mind and you recognize everything was good. Then that's when that love gonna really start coming into play. So I say follow your mind, then you follow your heart. Because I'm telling you, It's not worth it going through what this young lady went through. Like I said, losing a baby. She lost a husband. She lost faith in men, perhaps. So that would be my advice to you. And I would want to say again, thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode, 3D. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Right?
Yep.
Leave a comment so we can have dialogue about what you think about this show and what would you have done if you encountered a situation
Or what did you
such
think
as that.
about the series?
And what did you think about the series? And for those of you who don't know what we're saying, I'm going to make sure that there's a link at the bottom so that way you can click on and support the young lady. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, again, thank you guys. And until next time, I'm Uncle Will, and this is
Shannon B.
signing off. Peace.
Bye.